Chelsea Palmeiras, I assume that's when you want the upset to happen.
Yeah, I feel like there could be something there, and Al Hilal showed us that they won't be pushover as well.
Let's even talk about that. And since it's Al Hilal, there's only one place to start. It's Faruq.
This is that. And what's the reason you have started? That's wild.
Hey, let's not make it harder.
Explain.
Faruq Ibrahim. Let's make it harder than this story. So 21 weeks ago, we brought to you the very first edition of the OnlyFootball Podcast, a weekly podcast to discuss, preview, and review the week's football action. 21 weeks later, we're on episode 21. My name is Tunde Young, flagged, of course, by the regulars in Faruq and Joba Ogunwale as we celebrate our first foray into the 20s. So clap it up, like, share, subscribe, follow, comment. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody about the best Nigerian football podcast out there, Strictly Football. New and improved, as you can see in the... I feel like we have to acknowledge the new banners. So, welcome to the Caravat Show. I will be discussing everything regarding the career of the German.
The international fan are behind it.
The Only Football Podcast episode 21, we made it, and I've introduced the regulars, so let's talk about the event. Yes, it's Kayode makes his starting debut. He's been appearing on the show as a substitute, but he makes his first start because of an unexpected injury to one of our regulars. So, Kayode, welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to be back.
What's this green code? Khaki green?
NYSC green.
It's not.
Kayode is serving the country. Joining us for the first time ever on the Only Football Podcast. It took him 21 episodes because he's such a superstar. Because we have to talk to his assistant to get in touch with him.
Just one baby.
We're able to snag him after one episode of the Viral Eat podcast. All the guys causing problems in the Nigerian lifestyle industry because of his looks and
what an intro.
And its weight. One of every time I think about that Victor Boniface episode, I used to see that comment that says, those two guys don't sit down for them, they look up.
You don't call them lesbian boys or something.
Call them lesbian boys. Anyway, we have one of the lesbian boys if I enjoy us. Welcome.
Yeah, I feel good to be here. I took time out of my busy schedule. To turn up.
If I has 62 jobs, luckily for us, one of those jobs is as a reporter for the Express / presenter. So welcome. And this episode is going to be packed. We have a lot to talk about as usual because it's a week. A lot is happening. Club World Cup still going on in the United States. We are starting to get to the business end. That's the end that lots of people should care about, which is the quarterfinals. We'll talk about how we got to the quarterfinals. Samson Siasia and Mikel Obi's drama has another episode. We talked about the Olympics story last time out. Apparently, there's a fresh Olympic story that might involve a $50,000 bribe, and we'll let you hear from Samson Siasia directly himself. We'll be previewing the Women's African Cup of Nations that's starting this weekend on Saturday in Morocco, among other things to talk about. Of course, transfer window updates with Faruq. So there's a lot to talk about. If you like 3 morbidly obese men with 2 slightly slim people.
No, please don't group me.
I'm not
morbidly obese. You were actually part of these slightly slim people. This is the morbidly obese.
Exactly, because no, they put it among.
All right, by now, if you are still watching, definitely like us. Please, again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of that. While we talk about the Club World Cup quarterfinal, my team is in it. In fact, my team is the only English team with me. And if you don't know who my team is, it's Chelsea Football Club, Bully Blues.
We are.
YN's FC. And we'll be playing in quarterfinals against
Palmeiras.
Sorry.
We are not even following the competition, so he doesn't follow the competition.
Okay, so guys, thoughts on the Club World Cup so far? It started slow. It seems like it's picked up steam a little bit, but maybe that's from my perspective. Ifeanyi, what do you think?
I think for me, the thing that has really caught my attention is the performances of smaller teams in quotes. The Brazilian teams. I was very disappointed by what the African teams brought to the table, but it is what
Luckily,
it
I'm
is.
already something else.
And I feel like Sundowns,
Scored a lot of goals. Scored 3 goals.
yeah.
Wydad also out
Wydad-
in the group stage.
yeah, so I was disappointed by that. But in general, I think the South American teams, they've given a good account of themselves, to this point. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are more upsets to come, especially when you look at Chelsea and
So Chelsea Palmeiras, I assume that's when you want the upset to happen.
yeah, I feel like there could be something there. And Al Hilal showed us that they won't be pushover as well.
Let's even talk about that. And since it's Al Hilal, there's only one place to start. It's Faruq.
This is that.
And what's the reason you have to start?
That's wild.
Hey, let's not make it harder.
Explain.
Faruq Ibrahim. Let's not make it harder than the story. So, I don't think any of us really expected Al Hilal to be Manchester City. That's not to say we didn't think they were a good team
Or good enough to
or
achieve
good
that.
enough,
Yeah.
because we've seen them draw Real Madrid and we've spoken about them at length on this show already about how they're one of the teams that could actually shock everybody and go all the way. But still, when they got Manchester City in the round of 16, did you see that coming?
No, actually not, especially because of the performance Man City put up in the game before, and we started saying,
Trash
Pep-
Juve for
yeah, Guardiola is back, he's changing football. You saw that video from the brand I'm not going to name. Not like we are promoting them anyway, not like they need our promotion. Yeah, but the game, it showed a really impressive, a really matured side, a side that looked very well coached. I'm not really down to attributing it to Simone Inzaghi. And I've seen Simone Inzaghi is a good coach, but this side, I agree, but I don't think that his influence is what showed from, because he joined like mere weeks to the start of the competition, and from match they won against Real Madrid. So from the start, they're already showing that they were a team to beat. And against Manchester City, we saw a team that looked very mature and a team that looked very well drilled. And they were even missing some important players. I don't think Mitrovic played.
Mitrovic has not played yet. Salem Adasri.
Yeah, exactly. So, and these people are looking to add Osimhen and Bruno Fernandes.
And Theo Hernandez.
I like Ifeanyi said, I love the concept of the tournament. I'm not European, so I should not care about the Champions League. But because of we do not have any other thing to watch at a high level, but this Club World Cup now, it gives other continents a chance to show themselves.
Yep.
And now, when Al Hilal can now present their performance in the Club World Cup to the likes of Osimhen and say, how fast the way we do now? Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good.
No, I know.
It's all about how much.
But it helps.
See, we good now. How much you want?
And also the fact is, Club World Cup comes up every 4 years. The Saudi league is not global in the sense that
So,
people watch it weekly and all that. So
that 4 years later, you will not play the Club
Club
World Cup.
World Cup.
It just like the league is developing. Like more teams are getting acquired now because there's an expansion project in Saudi now, and more teams are getting owned by big clubs. Like our second place for our Kulu, the Aubameyang place for like clubs outside the PIF top 4.
Yeah.
So
They were nearly promoted Neom just
exactly.
Like I said,
So
signing Massimbok.
So the league is just going to get better, and maybe Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be right in 3 years, and it's actually be better than Ligue 1.
All right, let's stick with the upsets in the Club World Cup. Fluminense beats Inter in the Inter Milan.
An upset.
It's an upset though. Like, yeah, I get why on the strength of the competition, maybe not, because Inter have been horrible.
Yeah,
The group
they
stage.
look like they are beating both phically and mentally. Like
And also-
they've
They
been off the
need
ball.
that holiday. Really
Yeah,
bad.
they've been off the ball from the start.
I mean, you need to consider the season they had. They were in the running for
For 4 trophies.
Yeah, for 4
Yeah.
trophies.
And lost all 4.
And lost all 4. And that's going to take a toll on the
Mentally,
team.
yeah.
And the team was clearly aging. It was an old squad.
Yeah, and
They just lost their coach too.
yeah, and there's clear internal rift because after the loss against this team, Lautaro went on a round.
If you want to leave.
And he did that. He did not name the person. And then the club president came. I'm not going to mention who it is. Where is that Chanalogu? For that to happen outside, it's clear that there's
Things are not right at home
exactly.
right now.
So
And also a new coach, Christian Chivu.
I don't think Kivu is going to last in that job, to be honest.
It's a pressing chalice. Like it's a club that they're on the decline, they're collapsing, and then you come in. It's a group of players that have been specifically recruited by a specific manager for a specific style of play. I don't think any other manager wants a midfield of Chanalogu, Mkhitaryan, and Barella, or having Damian as a regular, or Achebi, or any of those guys. So like it's a sorry to Shivu. But Kayode, which other games in the Club World Cup caught your eye?
I mean, you was.
I read some in the competition.
I saw what it is.
Yeah, sorry.
You're terrible, Messi. You're terrible. I just got it.
I mean, I feel like for me it was just that Fluminense match. That was what I was mostly invested in. Because
Invest.
no, I didn't. I didn't invest in it, but like I wanted to see the match because I had very low expectations for Inter, so I was expecting them to at least prove me wrong, and they did not. So like it was really terrible.
I think they scored first. Inter not scored.
No,
No,
just
it was
2-0.
Considered in the 10 minutes,
Okay, yeah.
and then Fluminense scored again. Then
I think Inter had a goal ruled out or something.
no,
I don't think so. Just-
Step by the very missed opener. They had struck the woodwork like 3 times.
Lautaro
I
as
watched
well.
the game.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I'm surprised no one mentioned PSG against Miami.
I mean, that's
No.
Yeah, and it seemed like forever ago because it was the first match in
Yeah.
the
first match of
competition.
the round of
I feel like everyone saw that coming as well.
everybody.
You just know that when they got into halftime, Luis Enrique just told them, "I beg." Now, my friend,
It was very clear.
like it was very clear. They just took their foot off the gas.
4-0 at half time, and they ended the game.
And that 4-0 could have been 10.
Yeah.
It could have been 10. Man.
So let's focus on the quarterfinals now. So Chelsea, Palmeiras, predictions, permutations. I will start first because I'm the only one that wishes Chelsea went on this show. I think that Chelsea have been incredibly lucky. Things work out in a way that nobody could have planned it. Chelsea already had a monumental mess up by finishing second in a group that had Flamengo as number 1. But by finishing second, they should have naturally faced Bayern, who should have topped their group. But then Bayern lost to Benfica and finished second as well. So Chelsea faced Benfica in the round of 16, and on that side of the draw, the only traditional big team they could have met was Manchester City, who have now been knocked out by Al Hilal as well. So Chelsea have a clear path to the final, but they have to beat Palmeiras first in the quarterfinal, and then have to beat one of Al Hilal and
Who is Al Hilal even playing? Sir?
I think Fluminense. If I'm not mistaken.
Fluminense, yeah.
So they have to be one of Al Hilal and Fluminense. So those are not the most difficult fixtures in the world.
No, I mean, like
Chelsea are-
Chelsea are the
yes,
favorite. If
yeah,
we are being
but-
fair, Chelsea are the
paper,
favorite.
On paper, exactly.
but
But
those teams can beat Chelsea.
No,
I don't think Fluminense will beat Chelsea. But I feel like Al Hilal is going to beat Fluminense
But
and
the
then
thing about
deal with
the thing
Chelsea.
about Al Hilal is that they've not been the better side, except the 2-0 win against Pachuca. They've not been the better side in any of the games they played. They've had matured performances, like against Real Madrid. If Real Madrid were clinical,
in one game where you say they're probably better side, they didn't win. It was against Salzburg. I think that game ended goalless.
they won a 2-0 game
Against Pachuca. That was the game
They
that
won
was
2-0.
Yeah, but in the group stage they played Salzburg.
The bigger games rather. Real Madrid and Manchester City, in both games they were not the better side, but they won because they put in a mature performance. That's why. And Chelsea are the kind of side that they cannot, because they are not they're not Real Madrid or Man City.
Yeah.
That I think they would be as scrappy as Al Hilal would be, and I mean I'll back Chelsea. But personally, I want the non-European side to advance as much as they can, because I want it to be as global as it can be until the
All right, so speaking of the non-European sides, Joba, which of these non-European sides actually can go on the way and win it? That's not what we've seen so far.
I'll have to say one of those two Brazilian sides. I would have loved to say Al Hilal, but I just don't know if they have enough. And I also think that when it comes to competition like this, that's why in the World Cup also, tradition, all these things also, they matter a lot. So I don't think Al Hilal has that prestige in world football. So I think I'll probably say one of, and if you look at the draws and all that, you probably say Thiago Silva's men who are coached by Felipe Luis.
No, that's fine.
Flamingo. Okay.
Out already. Lost to Bayern.
Fluminense.
Fluminense,
Yeah. You probably say they can beat Al Hilal and they can also beat Chelsea if Chelsea gets over
Can't
Palmeiras.
rule anything out.
And Palmeiras,
Quite good
like,
return.
don't rule Palmeiras out against upsetting Chelsea also.
No,
So
don't worry. Me, I will rule Palmeiras out. Palmeiras cannot beat Chelsea. I know that one for a fact. Quote me anyway.
remember,
Chelsea can lose to Fluminense. Chelsea can lose to Al Hilal.
remember there is a certain guy in Palmeiras that you guys just signed.
Esteban.
Yeah.
So, all the money.
I mean, he might be looking to impress.
You are impressed already. That's why we pay. What are you trying to impress again? My friend, do that one. Let us qualify. So the quarterfinals, Palmeiras Chelsea kick off on Saturday. Well, Friday night. So yearly as Saturday too. After listening to the episode,
I need to ask: has any of us stayed up to watch any of these games?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wanted to stay up to watch the City and the Lion game, but I slept up.
Yeah.
I stayed up to watch the first game in the
Inter, man.
Luckily. But every other game, I probably just watch.
Yeah.
I think I watched like the first 6 matches straight.
No, yeah. This quarterfinal, I've from last week, I've been staying up to watch this game.
For example, if the PSG Bayern Munich game was midnight, I'll probably
Let me look at the
but
timing.
I think it's 8 p.m. kickoff on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So PSG Bayern is actually 5
So, yeah,
5
so,
p.m.
on Saturday, and also on Saturday, the earlier on Saturday, 2 a.m. Palmeiras Chelsea. Friday, July 4th, we'll see Fluminense Al Hilal lock on.
If PSG goes on to win this, where would we rank their season, compared to Manchester City's treble, Bayern's treble, and Barcelona's treble? Especially because they played in the most those teams won the Club World Cup too, but PSG played the most difficult Club World Cup. But you can also argue that their league is not as how would we rank it?
That would always be the drawback, because for every other team, the remaining 2 trophies in the treble were very respected. But for PSG, football Twitter football fans
In general, yeah.
just don't rate the league or the league up that much because it's France. But I know they still have the press achievement, especially if they now go on to tidy up Tottenham in the Super Cup.
Tottenham are getting packed.
So it'll be one of the greatest seasons of all time. So the Bellingham derby, which will no longer feature Joe Bellingham because he picked up that rubbish yellow card against Monterrey. But Real Madrid versus Dortmund Saturday 9 p.m. So let us predict our quarterfinals and move on. Real Madrid, we agree, is packing up Dortmund.
Yeah.
Even though they were disappointed against Juventus for me.
No, they played really well in the
Second half.
Yeah.
So. Juventus could have ended that game in the first half. They had them on the ropes for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, Shaka is
Colomani did.
No, I think Real Madrid, yeah. No. I don't see an upset.
For you?
PSG.
Is it that straightforward?
Yes.
Not to me though.
PSG did not win every game in this tournament.
Doesn't matter. It was after they had qualified.
No.
Okay. It was
they
the
lost
second
to
game.
Botafogo also.
Yeah.
But they should have won that
game.
game.
They lost though.
They should have
Which
won.
means they can also lose this.
There's no doubt that they are the better team, but
Can they win?
The 4-2 again, the Bayern game against, was it Flamingo?
it could have gone. It could have gone that way. Yeah.
That way. Flamingo had them on the ropes. Bayern are not the great side. They are good, but they are not the great side.
Alright, you just said black.
I'm going with Bayern though.
You are going with Bayern.
Yeah.
Joba, I assume you are going
With PSG.
PSG. Alright, I'll go with Bayern for balance. Fluminense,
Still
Al Hilal.
balanced. I'm going Alila. I'm sorry. I'm going Alila.
I mean, I'm not going to say what I want to say because people are going to think it's because my name is Faruq Ibrahim. anyway, I'm going Alila because I think they have the chance to upset the European
I'll
teams.
go with Al Hilal too.
Same here. I just feel like they are better players.
I mean, if you beat Mazda and then lose to Fluminense, that's anti-climatic. And of course, we agree that Chelsea will beat Palmeiras. So let's just
No one has. I agree.
let us just move on. Yeah, but I think that wraps up our Club World Cup roundup so far. So let's talk about Samson Siasia, some drama finally. I don't know where to start from.
Probably give us a backstory for what
Probably
happened.
just let you listen to the clip, I guess.
How you did one, but they never come. But Mikel agent called that Mikel cannot come, and Mikel wasn't the starter in Chelsea then. was the bench. It wasn't the starter. And I told him, we only have one game against Ghana to play. Please, come and help us to play like it. And that was it. I said, if he doesn't come, he won't go anywhere. So Mikel refused to come there. He said he's playing in Chelsea. We went to Ghana. We needed a draw, right? They brought Asamoah Gyan, or everybody came. We needed that win. Nothing happened. Played very well. At the end of the day, 0-0 qualified. Going to the World Cup or the Olympics, Mikel wants to come and play. His agent said he will give me 50,000 euros that you should come and play. I said, okay, it's not about 50,000 euros. You didn't play to qualify. So I will take out someone that qualified us and bring you in. And now, it's not going to happen now. Even you go anywhere, it's not going to work for you. Because the team will not go anywhere because you are doing the wrong thing. People that play to qualify should go. That's why Mikel didn't go. But at the next one, he was the first to come. That's it. Wait till this dinner.
All right, that was the voice of Samson Siasia, former Super Eagles forward, former Super Eagles coach, former Flying Eagles coach, former Olympic Eagles coach, a legend of Nigerian football, also who just recovered from ban
For
for
bribery.
bribery.
Was he sick? Say recover.
So, yeah, he just finished his ban
Serve the stem.
for just served his bribery term, and now
For the 50,000.
No, not for this one.
I think 5,000 or $10,000.
If only you knew.
So I've heard what there are so many ways to start this, but I don't even know how. So Joba, please shed more light on this.
So, I have an issue with this interview because it looks like Siasia has a personal vendetta against Mikel,
So then it can be said.
which I emphasized last week also. I think he had this issue whereby because Mikel didn't reach out to him when he had that ban. Mikel didn't reach
How
out.
do you know that?
I mean, it was on record now, and also like sources say this thing. So Mikel didn't reach out to him when he had that ban. I don't know what.
If you drop me from Olympic squad and then they now ban you, don't expect me to reach out from several years.
So
later.
I don't really know what he is looking for. And also the claim that he made that Mikel was sitting on bench in 2008.
It's false, right?
I actually checked. Mikel started 21 games in the Premier League that season,
For
2007,
Chelsea,
2008.
This was not the
That was with Chelsea.
This was not
Champions League final Chelsea.
For Chelsea, you understand? So, and for someone who was banned for receiving $10,000,
I've been making such
yeah,
with joy.
so I find it somehow, I find it weird that it's absurd that you're coming out now to say that, oh, I think John Shitu was Mikel's agent then, so that John Shitu offered you
I think if I has a quote where
so
John
it's
Shitu
weird. It's weird for me.
rebuffed that statement or categorically denied it. If I
Yes, according to the cable, John Shitu said, I am one of the most respected agents in the game, and I don't engage myself with damaged or inconsequential people.
damn.
As far as I'm concerned, it is a forgotten issue.
So it happened.
Although I can't I was just about to say I can't find any quotes here where
Okay, it's a lot to forget.
where he's saying that, look, I did not give him this money, but
so it happened.
give him this offer.
No, I
but
mean, what I guess if you phrase that in a way to say this is so ridiculous, I'm not even going.
I'm not even going to
Justify
defy with
fight
the
that
response.
answer.
Yeah.
If you respond, it's now starting to be a back and forth. So I sort of understand his angle, but Kayode, do you have any thoughts on this? Because I'm even confused on where to ask Mikel. Kayode, if you were Mikel, what will your reaction to this? Bear in mind that Mikel is also now a content creator
Yeah, I mean,
and probably asked to respond to this.
yeah, I mean, it's more content for him, to be fair. For his podcast, it's more clout for his podcast. But at the same time, if somebody is that you already accused of doing something before, is also coming out to tell you that, oh, you offered me bribe, it looks like everybody's just trying to do like a smear campaign on each other now.
Yeah.
So like, is who has the biggest debt on each other that they're trying to do now. So the whole thing is just, to me, it's just a very foolish beef.
Is it fair to say Mikel was a problematic character? Because it's not just Siasia now.
Yeah.
Olise also has issues with him.
Olise himself is in it.
No, I mean that's well documented.
But we can't play under Olise now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it a fair deduction to make? Because Olise doesn't have good things to say about Mikel either.
Yeah, but none of those people have also accused Mikel of bribing them to play for
Yeah, exactly.
You understand what it is that Mikel Obi, one of Nigeria's greatest midfielders, has to bribe you to play for Nigeria. It just doesn't sound believable.
Yeah.
Like, please let me go to the Olympics. Take me.
Also, the figure
Mikel
for me, the figure is just
It's
ridiculous.
It's not even a fight on Mikel.
The figure is too high.
I'm begging you that I want to represent my country.
It's not like a World Cup thing another. It's the Olympics. Yeah, Olympics is great. And I also think that I in fact the reason why I don't believe is that because as of then, Mikel is still trying to like find his feet at Chelsea because there were a lot of competition.
And $1
In midfield,
$1 was 150
because it wasn't AFCON or something like that. I'm pretty much sure he would have preferred to return for
Also,
season early.
I choose to consider the possibility, because it happened a lot at Chelsea at the time, that not even going for the qualifier against Ghana, which was Siasia's gripe from this video, was not a Mikel decision but a Chelsea decision. It's something that has happened a lot, and Mikel's career at Chelsea essentially ended with Antonio Conte because he chose to go and represent Nigeria.
Yeah.
Conte told him, stay back and work with the team and let me put you in my plans. And he said no. And when he came back, he had lost his place and he had to leave Chelsea. So that's how his Chelsea career ended. So even though if a 28-year-old Mikel or 29-year-old Mikel could make that decision to go and represent Nigeria, I don't think a 19-year-old Mikel who just arrived at Chelsea could have left in 2008 if Jose Mourinho said, no, don't go. I want to play you 27 times this season.
Yeah.
So I will now say, oh, let me go and play for Siasia. At some point, you just have to know where you stand.
By the way, Odemwingie was in that 2008 squad.
What did we even do in 2009? Oh, we got to the final.
We got to the final.
Di Maria. No.
Odemwingie was in that.
has a-
Odemwingie was in that 2008 squad. I would like to ask Siasia if Odemwingie actually played the qualifiers against Ghana for him to be selected. Obviously, Odemwingie was one of the older players that he can over 23 players that he can select. And I also like to ask him that, like, the players that eventually made the squad,
Did they all
play against Ghana?
against Ghana? So because that was logic. Anyway, congratulations to everybody involved. I'm sure Paul Sports, as a reputable journalism organization, we'll reach out to Samson Siasia for coming and probably try and get him on the OnlyFootball Podcast to get a balanced view of the situation. Speaking of representing Nigeria, Tosin Adarabioyo is.
I thought you were about to talk about favor of Philly, but go on.
This is only football.
I
I don't even know who that is. This is the only football podcast. Don't you play football? Anyway, Tosin Adarabioyo, there's a quote from him, and he says, "The World Cup means it's a decision I need to take sooner rather than later." And he was speaking about his choice between England and Nigeria. So essentially saying, now we'll go World Cup. I can choose.
He wants to do the Mikel.
And which implies that he has a choice with England.
I mean, if Dunk plays for England, or
I was about to say that England will call anybody up,
bro.
literally.
Yeah, but to the World Cup,
Yes.
the World Cup place is not sure for those that
No, the thing is, I think right now, if you are not in the squad, the World Cup is 12 months away. So
if you're not the regular already,
that you're not
call-up.
You also have to factor in
It's
that
unlikely that you
it is still a new coach. Thomas Tuchel is still trying things.
But that's the point. Like, Tuchel had the opportunity
do you
to
agree
call
that,
him.
okay, if we qualify, which we are not even, so just make a decision. but on the 1% chance that we qualify for the World Cup, do you think that if Tosin Adarabioyo chooses Nigeria immediately, Super Eagles will not call him up?
I know they will probably try to.
They will.
But personally, they should not call him up. That's my own.
Based on principle.
I know that beggars cannot be choosers. And if we had that
Are
principle,
we even really beggars in this case? Sorry to cut you, because I thought Adarabioyo at 27, yeah, he's a good defender, but is he that much better than?
Does he walk
Bruce
into
Ekong is still
does he
very
walk
important
into the starting
for us.
11?
He does very well.
Probably
please.
does.
He does.
Probably.
Yeah, but
But also not enough to give up your pride. It's not
Yeah,
his character.
Hang on, sorry. Over who?
That's the thing, because
He works.
because
Who currently partners Ekong?
Passing.
We used to play back three, and Adarabioyo is
No,
better than
now
Ekong.
you are
What
over who?
What?
Yeah,
But that
should not be
that's
starting
the
for
point.
us.
You're looking at
Like, did you not have a gap in our last?
Okay, let Joba get his take off.
You're looking at from the lens of quality and all that. You also need to consider the politics that goes on in Nigeria.
And even express our familiarity with the system.
Ekong is
That go on in Nigerian football. Ekong is the leader. Ekong is the captain.
Yeah.
So you think
They already have one
you
captain
think
that's not playing.
Adarabioyo is just going to come in and then walking straight into the team because yes, he plays for Chelsea or something like that.
For me, we should not call him
Okay,
up.
you don't want him to be in.
Yeah, because I mean, I know that if that was our standing policy, we probably would have lost out on Ademola Lookman because we begged him for a while before he eventually agreed for us. We told staff for a while. We apply pressure.
Only
So
International country.
bro, I know, but I mean that statement just marks of like, let me see what you people would do first. Maybe we would eventually call him up, but after the World Cup. But if we can make it to the World Cup in this our current precarious situation, if we find a way to make it to the World Cup, let's just play with what we have.
All right, Kayode, Faruq wants to put pride over quality.
I'm going with Faruq. I don't see any reason why I should be calling Adarabioyo now.
But everybody they apply pressure for babe. Like,
No, I mean, you have to, like, I don't know.
They don't scatter it. So, why Kayode gathers his communicational thoughts? Are you?
Yeah,
something to say that.
No, Hey, I was just trying to say, like, it doesn't make sense to call Adarabioyo now because, like, for me, it's more about like he's 27. There isn't much that is going to offer us after the World Cup. That after the World Cup,
our starting center back is 32 and he plays in Saudi Arabia.
Ideally, can still be a key player for our next two World Cups. Qualify for the next World Cup. He can still be a key player.
Because outside Ekong, we don't have prospects.
yeah.
Can beggars be choosers? My view is that if this was a player of undeniable quality, say Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, players like that we know for a fact that you are better than us. Yeah. Like, you will be lucky for you to play for us. I would say we cannot. If you want to come on the day of the World Cup, come. But should we really be allowing Tosin Adarabioyo to bend us over like this as a nation?
No, absolutely not. But I think for him, I guess we can say he's marginally better than Trust.
Yeah,
right?
but
there are other things to consider, not just the fact that he might be a better defender than Trust. You're not just coming in to bench Trust. So
what does it do for team morale? Players are saying this
exactly.
Like, you know, when we don't qualify, Tosin Adarabioyo
I mean, that's basically what we just
Super Eagles set up is exactly like
that.
One thing I can guarantee though is Tosin's agent is not for anybody 50. So maybe first come on your mind, which by the way might come in handy right now because I heard they are owing our coach and they've not paid him since they've not paid him since he was employed. So that 50K might come in handy. But you don't have that Siasia juice, bro.
Also, we can just wait for them to come and beg us because I'm pretty sure that if he doesn't go to the World Cup,
and you know
England,
the thing that shocks me that annoys me with Tosin is that this guy reps Nigeria like on social media. October 1 probably done Super Eagles.
I mean, he probably loves us, but not enough to derail his career. Still his career.
And here's the thing. Speaking to Tunde's point that if this guy was, I think if he was all that, maybe let's say in the caliber of Saka and Eze, England would have called him up. I just think England has so many talents in that position where he plays. Maguire wasn't even called, wasn't called up. This guy who they played together at Chelsea, Trevor Chalobah was preferred.
Chalobah is no better than Adarabioyo.
He's not. As a Chelsea fan, I'm telling you that he's. I'm telling you that in the club that I watch, I feel comfortable with Chalobah over Tosin.
In the club that you watch, Nicholas Jackson plays better than Nkunku. Nicholas Jackson is not the better footballer than Nkunku.
Also, to Joba's point, the minute Stones gets a run of game, he's back on the team. So there's no real space for Tosin in that England setup.
Tosin Adarabioyo, you better hope you have a Jamaican cousin. Or something. You are not going to any of the world.
Get ready to lep out.
England is not taking you anywhere.
Yeah, so
Fikayo
come back.
Tomori also did that.
I regrets it, I'm sure.
And now I don't think he can switch to either
He can't.
Nigeria
Yeah,
or
he
Canada. Also,
He missed the window. That's what England did when they did that. They called up Tomori, Abraham, and Saka at the same time.
They
So
did
that-
it last year
this
to Edin Ketia now.
and that's why a player like Alex Iwobi always has my respect. Even though revisionism has made people forget, but me, I was already a sport journalist by the time Alex Iwobi first played for Nigeria.
yeah.
I know for a fact that Iwobi would have played for England if he chose England. Doesn't mean that he would have had a long England career.
He was very highly rated.
He would have definitely played 2 or 3 games for England at the very least.
He was
And
the
would not have
best
been
player in
able to play for
Arsenal's
Nigeria.
academy.
He chose Nigeria at the point where England was a legit option for him.
Yeah.
A lot of these other guys choose Nigeria at the point where okay, the other option is not. And I'm not blaming them because if I had the choice to, I'm not going to rush at Nigeria if I have England or the Netherlands or something waiting for me. We even called up Mikel Obi at the point before he blew up. That was our modus operandi under Pinnick. These players that are good before they blow up, call them up. We called Oli said, he not even
I think the one that
What does Tosin call
I
that?
think
The
the one-
eliminations.
the one that got away was Eberechieze. I think
yeah,
we really had a
Form
chance
down.
of getting Eberechieze.
On this topic, do you people know that AI prediction of teams that will win the World Cup and they
Yeah,
say Nigeria will win in
2052.
2015? I actually think it's plausible, and because of the jackpot wave of the last 10 years, the way it's so massive, I think that there will be so many Nigerians in 20 years time that, and because unlike before when the jackpot in the 80s, it was difficult to still have a Nigerian identity, to still connect with Nigeria. But now there's social media, there's YouTube where kids are learning Yoruba, kids that have never come to Nigeria, they are learning Yoruba. They are
How does
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
no, I'm talking about the Nigerian. Like Saka does not have a Nigerian identity. He said it himself that the reason he's choosing to play for England was because he has supported England since he was young. The Three Lions jersey was his first jersey, and the reason Alex Iwobi chose Nigeria was because he has a strong Nigerian identity. His uncle played for Nigeria, and he said he has been eating akpu since he was.
Yeah, he grew up in Lagos now. 6, I think it was. Alex Iwobi was 6 until he left
Yeah,
for.
it ties to my point, the Nigerian identity, and I think now it's easier to have it's easier to have a Nigerian identity as somebody that was born overseas because there are so many now, and the Nigerian community in the UK is large. And even if England or France or Germany or the US gets the cream of the crop, would they be able to get the next best?
All the last what he said is true. We are not winning the World Cup in 2050. Bro.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
We might be able to contest.
We are not watching
In 2050, David Alaba does not pick Austria over Nigeria.
First,
Faruq, me and you are not watching Nigeria win the World Cup. That's not to say Nigeria will never win the World Cup. I'll just say me and you, except there is a new there's a new piece of technology that lets you expand your life to 300 years.
I mean, we are outsourcing everything we matter. I'll outsource our sports.
All right, away from men's football to the women's football now. WAFCON 2024, which is happening in 2025, normal African behavior, kicks off this weekend on the 5th of July. And Saturday, the first game is between Morocco and Zambia at 9 p.m. Morocco are the hosts of the tournament. The Super Falcons of Nigeria, our first game is on Sunday by 5 p.m. against Tunisia. So just to get you accustomed to the tournament and go through the groups, there are 3 groups of 4 teams, so 12 teams in total. Group A has the hosts Morocco along with DR Congo, Senegal, and Zambia. In Group B, which is where you'll find the Super Falcons of Nigeria, along with Algeria, Botswana, and Tunisia. While Group C has Ghana, Mali, South Africa, and Tanzania. So over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 21 days, from 5th July to 26th of July, so 21 days, 3 weeks, we will see the best of African football on the women's side of things. So best of luck to
Super Falcons.
Anything involved.
The Women Euros is also happening this summer, but
Nobody
don't care about
cares.
it.
If you want to talk about it, you can go ahead.
No. I mean, we should.
So are the Falcons winning again, or is it?
Which one next? That's the hashtag.
we are doing it again.
Although we are putting more preparation into social media than after planning for the tournament.
I mean, as usual, it doesn't stop us. We go win, no worry.
All right. All the best to everybody involved. This week in Nigeria football, there was a week of finals. The FA Cup final. Is it the FA Cup or the President?
Yeah, the President's FA Cup.
The name changes every 2
Is it not the Federation's Cup now?
Yeah. No, it's
Let me
Nigeria, don't worry.
It's called now. But basically, it's our version of the FA Cup, both for the men and women's side. Yeah, so I've Googled it and it's called the President's Federation Cup for now. I'm sure it might change next year again. But we saw both finals, that's the women's and the men's finals, at the Onikon Stadium over the weekend. One on Saturday, both on Saturday actually.
Yeah.
So Nasarawa Rivers Angels, beat Nasarawa Amazons on penalties. They had to come back from two goals down to come back and win that one. So congratulations to the Rivers Angels. And on the men's side of things, it was Square United, who also on penalties.
Abakaliki, or who did he?
Yeah, I think Abakaliki.
Yeah, we were able to beat Abakaliki.
And they had an interesting trophy parade also.
That's where I was going to, because I have questions.
All right. Even before we get to the trophy parade, the trophy presentation itself has sparked a lot of conversation on social media, as in why were officials of the team
on
flagging
the stage.
trophy on the stage with the players.
The president or what?
No, the team's officials. I think the government go down there too.
I don't want to say if I don't know for a fact.
Yeah,
but
but
just say officials.
Officials, basically, officials were there.
Maybe they're trying to emulate American.
Nah, that's
So there's a way even if that's what you want to do, there's a way it's done. Like they will call the team owner and stuff. So it does not quite that.
But as they know,
the whole thing was just like was shambolic.
Yeah, and then we go to the trophy parade,
Okay,
which was a literal truck. Like
yeah, it's tipper parade. Also, like I have questions as to why when they were doing the trophy presentation and they brought out like the shirts, champion shirt and everything, why was the governor's face on it? It's not the governor that played the match. The governor did not do anything. The governor does not run the club. Of Kwara State. No, that's one. Two.
Sorry, what's the name of the governor of Kwara State?
Abdul something Azan or something Rahman. I can't remember.
You know, if you're jumping. Know this.
And also, number one,
It's a state-owned club, but at the same time, like, why
you ask
trophy parade
questions that you already know answers?
This country, man.
Yeah, so,
I mean, it's a rhetorical question. I'm googling governor of Kwara State because I believe that it's important journalistically.
not know the government.
Okay, what name of the governor of Kwara State?
Wait, does it have Azan in it?
No, it does not.
Rahman.
You just think all Muslims.
No.
Sound similar. It's Abdurrahman Afrezak.
I know it was that Rahman.
And it
Azan.
looks quite like Bukola Saraki. Let's move on.
That's the only Kwara State governor I know.
And his father.
Anyway, so congratulations to Kwara United senior team and Rivers Angels and Kwara United under 19 as well.
Yeah.
Who defeated Atlantic Business Football Club 3-2 in the final of the Youth League Cup on Sunday, also at the Onikon Stadium.
Sorry.
At this point, we'll probably talk about why the Onikon Stadium is hosting so many events in such.
Yeah, that's because
Also,
the Agege Stadium has not been.
We have an habit of anytime there's
One good
decent
stadium,
let us just key down one, add it to the list of the stadiums that we can no longer use. At this point, it was Agege that everybody that we can no longer use. Teslim, national. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough Nigerian football. I mean, just Faruq, give us the transfer window update so we can get that.
I thought we were talking about the Lyon women's honor, but
Yeah, we actually let's mention it. Lyon have a new owner. If you want to tell us who he is, since you are the Minister of Women Affairs.
got people for this club.
While Ifeanyi, gathers
What?
while Ifeanyi gathers does together, Lyon had a new owner. The club was relegated because of financial issues over the last week. I think we'll talk about it in the last episode. But they have a right to appeal, which I think they will. But for now, whether they're a League 1 or a League 2 club, the point is that they have a new owner, and it's historically a woman, American businesswoman.
Michelle Kang.
Someone know how to manage money.
I mean, on that note, I want to talk about this woman that is also killing it in La Liga, Miriam Mourinho. She's running Celta Vigo now. She has been running Celta Vigo for the past 2 years. She took over from her father and she has transformed the club. She took the bold decision to sack Benitez and she promoted the second second team's coach, and now they are in the Europa League for the first time in 9 years. Also, she launched the women's team for Celta Vigo last year, and they already gained promotion to the third division. So I just thought that it's important to highlight that.
Yeah.
All right. Needless to say, Joba is not impressed. Not able to consign her.
Does that
Once the year women achieve it, not turn up the year.
Does that mean there should be more women, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like he's working.
Is football ready for women in high level of
I mean, we saw where Marina Granovskaya ran Chelsea, or at least, I mean, it's debatable.
Yeah, she did. She was.
She did well. She did well. So I think that if we are saying we are just losing out on talent.
Okay, let's rephrase the question, because it seems like there's quite a number of high-ranking women in high level in men's sports anyway. So already, so that's not the city to be broken. How far or how close are we to seeing the first female coach in men's football
At a high level.
at the high level?
I will say that's never happening.
That's
I think it will happen, but I think it will start from maybe national team football, maybe like a England or a USA. I think England were talking about employing Serena Wigman after she did well with the. I mean, she won.
It was just normal social media speculation.
Yeah,
England we're not talking about that.
They actually wanted to.
England and USA look like the wokest countries to do something like that, and I think it's going to start from national team, and then clubs can now start adopting such.
I just don't
Especially since
see.
club football is probably more brutal in terms of like the day-to-day requirements. I don't want to say women cannot do it. So
I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. No.
ever. The way
Club football, maybe one of these national teams, maybe Poland will do it one day. I mean, we have women presidents.
You don't want it to happen.
No, I don't see it happening. Like, I know what.
dressing room dynamics, right?
Yes, I just don't see how how men are. So I don't see
I'll
it.
be very, very. Anytime women empowerment what is your thoughts on this? Can we ever see a female coach in men's football?
Yeah, I'd love to
Like
see.
Liverpool.
I'd love to see it. No, I don't think
Charge
it's
of
going to-
Liverpool.
No, I don't think it's going to happen with a big club. There was a time that was EFC Wimbledon
No, I think it was
MIAs?
wanted to appoint MIA.
Yeah, MIAs was strongly linked to a lower.
yeah, so I think you can start from there, and then if the
This is what I think black people in this.
Also last I think it was last season the assistant coach of one of the Bundesliga teams of
Yes,
women.
yes.
All right, so we have to go, but Faruq, transfer window update.
Transfer window updates. The biggest story that came out this week was that Lionel Messi was contemplating leaving Inter Miami as he's not going to sign
Don't
the
leave
contract.
her for who?
He needs to
No,
retire.
his contract expires his contract expires at the end of the
How
year.
you carry all these your old friends? Come to club. You don't go leave. Go here.
He's not leaving because he doesn't think Inter Miami is competitive enough. He wants to leave because he wants to prepare better for the World Cup. So he's going to sign a 6-month contract with this thing. But Inter Miami immediately addressed the situation, saying that they are confident that he will sign with them. But the thing is that even if he signs a new contract, he can still go on loan in that club because this MLS season starts around like February. So you're just going to miss around 2 or 3
All
months.
right, what else?
Atletico Madrid signed Bayena and Ruggeri. Monaco have completed the move for Ansu Fati and Paul Pogba. I'm going to be supporting.
Big.
I'm going to support
Yeah,
Monaco
that'd
in
be
the
fun
League One
as well.
next
That'd be
season. AC Milan signed Luka Modric. I don't know why that man does not want to retire. And
Still at the club or cup with Real Madrid, by the way.
yeah, and Samuel Chukwueze has been rumored to leave. We don't know yet, but I mean, I think Bologna are interested. Juventus have signed.
Yeah, go on.
Juventus have signed Jonathan David. Lille signed Olivier Giroud. Fenerbahce have signed.
Leo signed.
Yeah, that's a big
I
one.
was a Leo fan. I would be pissed. Why would you lose Jonathan David? I signed Giroud
I mean,
at 52.
I mean, they said not for that I just signed Sheko in 2020.
Yeah.
So Fenerbahce completed the signing of Jean Duran. I mean, our head catch you.
What?
They are planning on completing the move for Milan Skriniar. Also in the Turkish Super League, Tammy Abraham has joined Besiktas, and also
I was very surprised by that.
Huh?
Negatively too. Really?
Also, Galatasaray are contemplating signing Victor Boniface if they are not able to get Osimhen to agree. Let's thought that Victor Nigeria and let's
Victor. So
also Arsenal are still negotiating with Cesc and Gyökeres. No advancement this week because Sporting are proving difficult in negotiation for Gyökeres. They are also in negotiations for Eberechi Eze and Christian Mosquera from Valencia.
All right. Thank you very much, Faruq, for running up the transfer window. We have to go. Unfortunately, time is our biggest enemy on this show. And you, the viewers, are our biggest friends. Thank you for watching and sharing and liking and subscribing and commenting and every other thing. Thank you. incredibly to our 1.5 guests. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. Half in the terms that is usually a part of the show anyway. So Kayode, you feel at home, as he said. So Joba Ogunwale did this with me, Tunde Young, as well as Faruq. Shout out to Ayola and Izu Chukwu, who were taken from us by leave. We are not there. They didn't die. They are leave. So hopefully they return in one piece and very healthy. So to the rest of you, thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Until we see you next week. Only football, baby. Adios.